So on our list is the Ghost Girl. First thing to talk about with the Ghost Girl is her occurrence. She has the highest percent chance of spawning on Rend, and it goes down the list with the lowest percent chance of spawning on Assurance. Although there is a high percent chance of her spawning on Rend, it's not a given one. It's 5% chance of her spawning, so you could see her, you may not. Next thing to talk about is her behaviour. She has 5 stages / 5 behaviours. The first one is absent. The Ghost Girl begins in this state. She waits for 20 seconds, then attempts to select a spot to appear. She attempts this every 4 seconds. If the player in target is in the facility, she'll pick a spot in the facility. If they're in the ship, she'll pick it on the surface. If you're outside the ship and the facility at both the same time, she won't appear. The next stage is her staring state. This is where she appears and she motionally rotates facing her target. If you're looking at her, the heartbeat sound starts playing. For you to be looking at it, you just have to look at it without any broken line of sight. So, for example, walls. You can't be behind any walls for her to just be sat there. It'll last 15 seconds indoors and 25 seconds outdoors, and when the timer runs out, she will switch to her disappearing phase. Now, her disappearing phase is when the Ghost Girl tries to walk off screen. She selects an out of sight spot and walks to it. The moment she gets out of the line of sight of the player, or within 4 units of the target player, or within 0.2 units of her destination, becomes invisible and switches back to her absent state, which is at the very start. If a non-target player touches her in this state, or if she fails to select a spot, she'll switch to her vanishing state, which in this state she immediately turns invisible and switches to the absent state, but makes lights and flashlights flicker for a short time afterwards. Her next stage is her chasing stage. This is the most common one, which most people see. They don't really see any of those. This is the one that you would definitely know. She hops towards the target player, and if she touches them, they die. The chase lasts 20 seconds or until the target player moves more than 50 units away from her. When it ends, she'll return to her absent state and the cycle will restart all over again. Every 5 seconds, if the player is not looking at her, she will attempt to teleport by using the code from the absent state to select a location. This time now, there are a couple of things you can do to basically kind of delay it or maybe prevent it. There are some signs indicating that the Ghost Girl has set her sights on someone. Lights or terminals are flicking. Giggling or heavy breathing, like giggling from a little girl, or heavy breathing from something. Hearing becoming muffled or difficult to perceive. Or hearing the faint chimes of a grandfather clock. They're the ones that are the most distinctive ones. Unlike the jester popping, the Ghost Girl haunting an employee does not necessarily mean the end of the run. However, this does come at the cost of the employee having to divert their attention from the compound. Now, although there are strategies to avoiding it, there are some strategies to if you are hunted. First thing you need to consider is manning the ship and building a wall of objects that block the line of sight to the door. This prevents her coming into it, because the minute that line of sight is blocked, it goes back to her first stage. If you want to stop her from spawning while in the factory, hug a corner or even a wall and look at the room, as she's only able to spawn behind you. Be extra careful when expecting encounters with other entities who have line of sight as mechanics such as brackens or call heads. Now, there is some strategies for a chase avoidance. If you hear a spawn indicated by giggling or breathing noises, the only rule you'll ever need is to never turn around. Just keep looking at her, keep that line of sight engaged, and the chase should not happen, pretty much. If they're being chased, run far away from her. She don't go very fast like the Jester does. The Jester speeds up over time. She stays at the same speed. You can do this by entering or exiting the facility or being teleported by a teammate. She's completely unable to reach her target if they're crouched on top of the ship's cabinet. That's another way to kind of end it. Now, the targeting of it. The Ghost Girl randomly targets her living employee using the point system. The point system is based on the employee. So I'll put it up now. The condition and depending on the points. So the more points you have, the more chances you are. So the first one is the employee has the highest insanity rate, at least 1.0. You can't really check your insanity rate, but it's kind of there. Employee that has turned their head the most, so the most paranoid. Employee is currently holding a scrap of item worth more than 150. Employee has never been critically injured before. That is the Ghost Girl. A little bit of backstory. A little bit of Nice information. If an employee is killed by the ghost girl, they'll be decapitated with blood coming out the neck. The most gruesome entity out of Lethal Company is definitely this one, the one that kind of makes it. The ghost girl and the mast and the tulip snake are the only entities that can be both inside and outside the facility.